What is up, guys? Welcome to a Straight Edge Wrestling breaking news podcast. As we reported earlier on today, Dean Ambrose is going to be leaving the WWE. Earlier on, it had been rumored that he was not going to be renewing his contract with the WWE when it came up in April. He apparently had a one-on-one meeting with Vince McMahon. He apparently met with multiple members of the executive team over at WWE and had said that he just did not wish to return or renew his contract, rather, when it expires early May, end of April. Now, WWE has now released a statement to the media saying Dean Ambrose, real name Jonathan Good, will not be renewing his contract with WWE when it expires in April. We are grateful and appreciative of all that Dean has given to WWE and our fans. We wish him well and hope that one day Dean will return to WWE. So that's the statement that WWE has officially given. This is pretty much unprecedented. WWE normally have an MO of, sorry, but we do not discuss contracts or pay regarding our talent with the media. That tends to be their line that they stick to and never, ever waver from. That they will only discuss things once, talent have left the WWE. They'll release statements to say we wish them well in their future endeavors, etc. But they never actually talk about it whilst a superstar is under contract. So this seems to be parting from the norm quite a bit. And I feel as though it's solely because of the amount of media speculation which has been going on throughout the day. And he's such a high-profile star. So there's been a lot of reports about the fact that Ambrose, over the last few months, or over the past year or so, has not been happy with his creative direction at all. He is not a man that likes to be put in a box, kept in a box, unable to write his own promos or work on the fly. And he's been quite open backstage, apparently, from reports from Meltzer and Keller and the like, that he doesn't like to be scripted. He doesn't like being kept to these manufactured kooky sort of storylines that WWE have had him in as of late, especially with his heel turn. And so he's expressed a lot of dislike and disdain towards these stories that he's been put in over the past 6 months to a year since his return to WWE from injury. And it was said that he had a meeting with Vince McMahon, a one-on-one meeting with Vince McMahon, where he had basically said he was not going to be re-signing his contract when it came up at the end of April. And it said that he was actually insulted by the fact that WWE thought this was a sort of a power move, a power play to be able to negotiate more money because AEW is on the horizon. And this is said to have just frustrated and infuriated Dean Ambrose even more, that it was never about money. He earns a lot of money at WWE. He's got a lot of money in the bank, more likely, and he doesn't need an AEW contract. It's solely because he's not happy with the creative direction. That seems to be the narrative of him leaving the WWE. Of course, we don't know that firsthand. That's from all the reports that have been coming out from a multitude of sources, including Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer and Wade Keller of the Pro Wrestling Torch over the last 24 hours have been talking about this quite a lot. And I'm sure more will come out in the next few weeks, months, when Dean leaves. I mean, April's not that far away now. It's only a few months away. So I'm sure he'll be speaking about it pretty soon as well. But it's been quite apparent that he's not been happy on with WWE Creative for some time. And to be honest, you can't really blame him. I wouldn't blame him either. You look at what they did with him when he turned heel, and it was just abysmal. But anyway, this is the first time WWE has on record spoken and commented about dirt sheet reports of when a superstar is leaving. So their statement, again, I'll read it out to you, has been, quote, Dean Ambrose, real name Jonathan Good, will not be renewing his contract with WWE when it expires in April. We are grateful and appreciative of all that Dean has given to WWE and our fans. We wish him well and hope that one day Dean will return to WWE, end quote. So that seems to be it. He was put in quite a solid angle this last night on Monday Night Raw, standing face to face with Triple H, having quite a good back and forth with Triple H as well, which was quite something. But it seems as though it's not going to go anywhere. It seems like so whatever his plans may be for WrestleMania, it seems like whatever that is going to be completely out the window because they're not going to use him in anything meaningful if they're going to have him leave if he's leaving the same month as Mania. One would assume. I mean, you don't know. Maybe they do give him a nice little swan song before on his way out, which would be nice. But I mean, it would explain his quite abrupt and unimpactful departure from the Royal Rumble on Sunday. He was in and out with no real um, uh, celebration around the fact that he was in, no real mourning his loss when he left, nothing. So it's kind of really explains all of that. But it does appear that Dean Ambrose, who is a big, big star for WWE, he has been a big star for quite some time, is on his way out. And what this means for Renee Young, we don't know. I mean, it's been very well known that she turned down a huge number of offers from other sources, huge companies, legitimate media sources, and newsroom jobs to be able to take up her position with the WWE. And so whether or not she stays, but then again, they've been quite well known to, keep private, personal separate. So she may well stay. And WWE has thrown a lot behind Renee Young in the past year or so. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if she does stay, but only time will tell. And she did, of course, sign a multi-year deal not that long ago. So she's still going to be under contract for quite some time to come. Whether or not it'll be sometime down the line that the question is raised as to whether or not she has to resign or not. But anyway, so this has been the breaking news that WWE has confirmed that Dean Ambrose will not be remaining with the WWE when his contract comes up in April. So just after WrestleMania, Dean Ambrose will be leaving the company, one of the biggest stars in the company for the past few years. It's going to be quite a big shock to the nervous system of WWE, I would say. I mean, they haven't got many big stars, and Dean has been one of the consistent players at the WWE for a long time. But anyway, so as you can see on the screen now, that is the quote direct from the WWE. Head on over to straightedgewrestling.com for any more. We'll be hitting it up as it comes out. Head on over to Twitter at SEW_podcast for all of the latest news as it happens. We'll be updating both of those sites as and when. And head on over to our Facebook, which is going to be linked down below. And have a good evening, and we'll see you later.